Hello again, welcome back to Joe's Home Flavors. I'm João Silva, and if you haven't guessed by all the paraphernalia I have in front of me, today I'm building superfood, a super sandwich called Francesinha. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So if you're watching this video, that means you're a serious foodie, because otherwise, why would you have a super sandwich? But bear in mind that super sandwich doesn't even begin to describe what we're about to cook. And the name sandwich is because technically it is a sandwich because, well, there's bread and there's stuff to go in bread, and yeah, so that's technically a sandwich. But bear in mind that this is a full meal. I mean, for reals. I mean, if you have a sandwich like this, as you will see at the end, there's no way you can eat anything else. So this is a full meal. It started off by being a snack, and today is one of, if not the most famous sandwich of Portugal. If you're watching this, that probably means that you're a serious food person, which is a good thing. And if you know about superfoods, and this is not superfood as in very rich or anything, which it is, by the way, but it's superfood because it's humongous. As a sandwich goes, this is like way up there. And as super sandwich goes, you probably know about one called Monte Cristo, which is a very, very, say halfway onto the Francesinha process. So, but it is a super sandwich because a Monte Cristo is proper sandwich as well. And if you have if you know your sandwiches, you know there's another one, French one, probably the original one, called croque monsieur, which has another version called croque madame, which obviously has, well, not obviously, but the difference between the croque madame and the croque monsieur is a fried egg on top. In this particular case, we're going to go above and beyond croque monsieur and Monte Cristo and then some. And as you will see, we have all of this to work with. There's a couple of processes. This is not for beginners. It's just take your time. Just reserve the time you need to cook this properly. I promise you, it's going to be the best sandwich of your life forever. Right, so let's get on with it. I'm going to name a few of the ingredients, if not all of them, but rest assured that all the ingredients and the processes will be in my website, joeshomeflavors.com, and so you can don't be worried about losing any of the processes or any of the ingredients. Okay, so we're going to have this in sort of 3 different phases. The first phase will be to make a meat stock, and for that we will need some bones, some beef bones, which I have here, as you can see. I have also some minced meat over there, pork meat, and I have some bacon which I'm going to fry as well, and that's just to get the stock going, right? Once that is done, and obviously you will see it like really fast, once that is done, we're going to move on to the actual sauce that is going to sort of bathe the sandwich, the Francesinha sandwich, as it is. So the sauce, as many would know, is the secret of this concoction. In any case, moving on. So the sauce, it's a process. It takes a couple of hours to properly do this sauce, or maybe if you want to skip a couple of steps, I can tell a couple of tricks to skip a few steps on that sauce building. And for the sauce we have all sorts of things going on. So we have onions, we have garlic, we have bay leaves and thyme, we have fresh tomatoes, we have tomato puree, we have on this sauce bowl here we have also a red pepper paste, we have mustard, we have Worcestershire sauce, we have Tabasco, we have salt, pepper, sweet paprika. And then we move on to the liquid stuff, and we have red wine, we have port wine, and we have old rum as well. And then we have obviously our olive oil, always present in most of my recipes, and my own concoction of piri-piri sauce. We also have, to thicken the sauce at the later stage of the sauce building, we have a little bit of cornstarch and some milk to work that in. And we have obviously our fresh herbs as well. Then the sandwich, we have ham, we have fresh sausage, pork sausage, we have chorizo, and we have obviously our cheese. In this case it's Gouda cheese. Some very nice beef steaks. Let's move on to the next step and let's start working on our stock then. We're making a meat stock because that's going to be the base of our sauce. So obviously we start with a little bit of chopped onion. Not too much, it's just to create a base. And then we need as well some olive oil. We're going to have this onion starting to sizzle, and we can have a couple of bay leaves in there, also a couple of garlic cloves. Just crash them a little bit, skin on. As that starts to sizzle, we're going to get our bones in there. We're going to take the beef as well. Now we need some water. Now we should season this a little bit, so a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to take this stock and leave it cooking for half an hour in a different hob, so we can use this one here to start frying our meats and prepare them for the sandwich. Right, so now we're going to start to actually fry some of this stuff, and we're going to start with the bacon. Get this on. We don't need any fat on there because the bacon obviously has its own fat. I'll remove this bacon onto my board over here. Chop it a little bit roughly. Don't worry about all that fat. That fat is going to go, but we need that to caramelize that bacon. That's going to be half of the flavor. Right, next we have our fresh sausages. I'm going to open them in half, and those are going to grill as well. So now we open them like that, and we can use a little bit of that pan as well. Just over there. Then we have our chorizo, same process. We open it this way. Mind you, all of this is with no fat at all. Well, no other fat than the one that's already present, for example, in the bacon. Look at all that yumminess. I know, right? Just think, all of that is going to go in one sandwich. This recipe is not something that you do every day, obviously, because it's a bit of work. But if you want to impress someone who's a proper foodie, someone who really enjoys their food, this is one way to do it. So I've done the sausages, both the fresh sausage and the chorizo, and I've done the bacon. Now this bacon, as you can see, in all this yumminess, I'm going to preserve for my sauce. A little bit left over there, which is the fat that we're going to use to start cooking our steaks as well. So we have that going again, and we're going in with our steaks. We season our steaks. Just 1 minute or two on each side, and we're ready to go. That should be enough. Now we should reserve them as well. Right, so our stock is done. As you can see here, we've reduced it to pretty much 1/3 of the water that we had initially when we were cooking those bones and that meat. The meat is still here. The bones, obviously, I took them out. I also took out the bay leaves and the garlic peel. Everything else is on here, and we're going to use that on our stock. But we're going to start on our sauce. I mean, we're going now to start to build our sauce for our Francesinha. Okay? So again, we need to get this on. Need all this onion in there. All in all, we use about 1 whole onion chopped. So I used some of it to start our stock, and now I'm starting the sauce already again with a base of onion and olive oil. I'm going to get some of this thyme in there, a couple of bay leaves. I already have 2 garlic cloves chopped, that goes in there as well. Now this should spread a little bit. This is the fun part. This is the part where we actually start building that sauce layer by layer. Next step is the alcohol. And by alcohol I mean my wine. So wine in there, sorry about the noise. That wine now is going to evaporate some of that alcohol. So this is the time where I get my parsley and coriander and chop this. I'm going to use the whole bunch. So this is a mixed bunch of coriander and parsley. So I'm going to just roughly chop this, just a little bit like that. Then in there. Here we have tomato paste, some red pepper paste, the one that I make myself, some Tabasco, some Worcestershire sauce, and some yellow mustard. And I'm going to pour the whole thing in there. Again, for the portions, just go on the website and I'll have all the recipe there, including all the ingredients and the amounts and everything. Okay, so all of it's in there. As that goes, we need to now get our stock that we cooked in there. I promised you I would get you a couple of cheats along the way to make the process shorter. So if you don't want to have go through all the hoops to make this stock, you can just use a stock cube, a meat or beef stock cube, and that it won't be the same. It's a good starting point. So stock in there with all of its meaty stuff. Now I'm getting the tomatoes, the fresh tomatoes, and get them in there as well. Don't think too much about it, just give it a couple of cuts. Like I'm sectioning them in 4, and that's it, in there. Remember our bacon that we tried before with all that, with all the chorizos and sausages and everything, and all that yumminess, that goes in there as well. I am now going to season it a little bit of salt. Remember the stock was already seasoned, and there's bacon in there, and so yeah, we need to be careful with our seasoning here. If you're not experienced, try before anything else. If you don't know your way around spices or seasoning, try it before you actually correct the seasoning, okay? Right, so our sauce is getting along. I think it's pretty much cooked as I want it. Yeah, I'm now going to blend the whole thing and then sift it onto a different pan. Right, so we have sifted our sauce onto a different pan. It's now just sauce, so everything else that we used to flavor this sauce is gone, except for the flavors. So it's all there, and we're now going to finish the sauce with our alcohol. The reason I haven't introduced neither the rum or the port yet, it's because some of it would have been lost in the whole process, and also I didn't want it the alcohol to evaporate completely. So we're going to add it now. Our port and our rum. If you don't have rum, you can use brandy, cognac. I need to check the seasoning of this sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of my piri piri sauce. Just a little bit like that. Now it's simmering at its absolute minimum temperature. I'm going to try it again. Much better. So now, to finish this sauce, I'm going to use a couple of teaspoons of cornstarch. So I'm going to have some of this milk in there to help me dilute and prevent some lumps. This will thicken my sauce. And in we go. The rest of the milk goes inside as well. So our sauce is ready. Turning off the hob. Just going to leave it there. And now we're going to assemble our sandwiches. We're going to take the slices that are a bit thicker than the rest and leave them as a base. I've toasted them a little bit in the oven as well, just slightly, so it holds better. And then, so we have two slices here because we're making two sandwiches. And the first thing we do is to get some of this ham onto them. Basically having two slices of ham. On top of that ham goes the steak. Then one slice of cheese on top of that. Okay, so bread, ham, steak, cheese, and now bread again. Ham, chorizo, pork sausage, chorizo, pork sausage. And now another cheese, now bread on top. Now it's where it becomes interesting. So we take one slice of cheese, another one like this, another one like this. This is a big sandwich, okay? Don't get frightened. Another one like this, and another one like this, and another one like that. And now they go in the oven. The oven should be preheated at 180 degrees, and it should just cook for like 10 to 15 minutes until it's all nice and melted. Okay, and then we serve. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, this monstrosity of a sandwich. Like I said, the only thing this has in common with the sandwich is the bread, and that you stuff in between slices of bread, because this is by no means a snack. Without further ado, let's open the hostilities. I'm going to try, this is, as you can see, is massive. I'm going to try to slice a bit off so you can see what it looks like on the inside. But this is quite a challenge because my choice of plate wasn't very fortunate. But let's see what we can get. Oh my god, I can see everything coming, everything happening there. I'm doing this live so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So remember, we have steak, we have fresh sausage, we have chorizo, we have ham and cheese, and all this yumminess comes together in this one beautiful sauce that I came up with all these meat sauces, reducing all the spirits and alcohol, and going in it as well, the spices, everything working together to this bite. Oh my god. Wow, this sauce is like, oh my god, it's so rich, so beautiful. You're supposed to serve these with the French fries. I don't even dare. With everything that's going on in this plate, I don't think I need the fries or anything. If you follow this recipe, I promise you, this is like, it's one you're going to impress. I don't care who. Ramsey, Oliver, anyone who comes to your house, if you present them with something like this, they will bow down to you. I promise you. If you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. If you have anything to add, if you have a different version, or if you would like me to try something else, get it down on the comments. I will have this recipe ready on my website, where you can find joeshomeflavors.com, where you can find all the other recipes, all the ingredients, all the step-by-step instructions, so go on there as well. Share this video with your friends so you can tease them into trying to cook this for themselves or for yourself or for you. Share with your friends, share with your family if you can. Subscribe to the channel so you are up to date every time I post a new recipe. Thanks for watching again, and I hope to see you soon. Bye now.